want to do another countdown behind it. Pretty good. Hey, guess what? It's Doisp. We're playing Doisp today. To now is what I just said.
To now.
My name's David.
Why are you flustered?
Lots of things were happening behind the scenes.
Are you just nervous about this game?
Yeah, the penultimate one. Who wouldn't be? This is theoretically the second to last one we'll play. My name's, by the way, David.
Is that what penultimate means? I thought it was like you had to do 20 more.
I mean, we can. We don't have a hard date yet.
Damn it.
I'm hearing you enthusiastically sign up for 20 more.
No. Well, maybe.
Speaking of enthusiasm, what's this my favorite role-playing D&D partner's name again?
You mean my real name or my Seraphina Tea Leaf?
Both your real name and your Seraphina Tea Leaf.
I'm Marisa, and you can also call me Risa, and I'm Seraphina Tea Leaf. Or Feeny Teeny. Teeny Feeny. Either one.
Yeah. Also, you might have Strongheart is your name or something too.
I'm a Strongheart clan member. Wait, that doesn't sound good.
Oh boy. As long as you're not a wizard, you're fine.
But yeah, I mean, I still don't quite understand what a Strongheart is, but I'm pretty sure I know what it means.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that matters. I'm going to make a screen share of little map, perhaps. We had so many sound problems. I'm all messed up today. There we go. Guess what? That's what Phandalin looks like. You're already seeing it on your own screen. Marisa?
Yes.
Do you remember what was happening? Let's see. Xanth said goodbye to Xanth last time after let's see. Oh, you kind of soothed the heart of Dorthok the Thunderboar, who was possessing your orc friend, whose name I forgot.
Yes.
Hairnord? I don't know.
Hangnar? I don't remember. I remember it reminded me of Hanger.
Oh, Holgar. That was very different. Holgar was his name.
Hanger, Holgar.
I think as you left, everyone said, "Oh, we'll never forget you." So good thing we wrote it down.
That's funny. We'll never forget him.
No. He was. I think he had two other people from his, like the Tooth Ripper. Is that also a clan? Tribe? Who knows?
Think so. Tribe. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Group of really good friends. A little bit before that, because you worked with them, Inverted Night Breeze said goodbye in the middle of the night breeze. Mm-hmm. So it's down to just you and Shanjan. And actually, I have you on Phandalin, but I should have started you here on the Sword Coast. You were. Let me see if I remember how to do this. Yeah, right there, right? Did that show you where you are?
Yeah.
So, this square, if I can get it. Oh, I can't get it. Oh, there we go. That square is no longer there. You're at the Circle of Thunder. I assume. Oh, actually, I think Xanth. I think he said he led you to the edge of the forest and then kind of said his goodbyes.
Didn't he just run away?
If you remember, he teleported, and then that flock of fairies kind of went everywhere. He kind of turned into like I don't know, mist, like the morning, and it was as if the morning dew just evaporated before you, and said that he would return once he's found himself. And was heroic as you are, I think. I'm paraphrasing for sure, but
yes,
it was along those lines. And then, so yeah, interestingly, your whole thing was you had gone on that mission for Falcon, who lived here, way up there, to kind of get rid of these orcs for him, and he would pay you. Although you ended up joining with those orcs and actually fighting Falcon in the end. And I think he retreated, if I remember correctly. Although Sir Parator did not have a chance to retreat. But I assume you're going back to Phandalin, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably been a couple days. And I will say this is let's see, do you need to be oriented again? This might be the last time you're in Phandalin. And I think as you come up, just like every other time, what time of day would you say it is? Are you coming in the morning, the afternoon, right at sunset?
I feel like maybe mid morning, like 10 a.m. or something, like they've been walking since the early morning.
Yeah, and actually, how was this this walk with you and Shanjan? Was it like quiet? Were you reminiscing? Were you just kind of absorbing all of that stuff that just happened, or what? Because it was probably a day or two at least.
I think Serafina would most likely be, honestly, like kind of out of her usual element. She's not like her perky, like sing-alongy self, just like we're going on another adventure. But she's also not like sad, not that she's not sad, but she doesn't want to let anybody know that she's like very sad about everything that's just happened. Because I think this is kind of the time where now it's like it's got to be hitting both of them that Inverna's gone and now Xantha's gone.
Yeah.
So it's like two, like an old friend and a new friend, and both of them are gone, and now it's just the two of you. When it's been a trio for at least probably a long time, even if it wasn't Inverna, it was Xanth. So now that it's just the two of them, I feel like if anything, it would be like very like kind of quiet. I think Shanjan is most likely taking it as like, well, now we're going to be quiet and pray, because that seems like a Shanjan thing to do. But I think Serafina would just be like playing like some really sad, just fucking like, just walking through the forest, and he's meditating and she's just playing like some sad stuff,
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And I think, like you said, Shanjan just kind of maybe he's just like rolling the dice every now and then, like way more often than he usually does, and just nodding sagely at the results.
Yeah.
But oh, this is a good view too. There we go.
Excuse you.
So as you come into Phandalin again, I guess through the south, that like the Miners Trail, I guess. Although it's been maybe somber or at least a stoic I don't know, journey here. You're greeted as always by the fantastic Phandelvers. These children. To remind you, you've got Pip Stonehill. You've got Nilsa. Dendrar is her last name. Carp Adderleaf, the little hobbit, the little halfling child. Narj Dendrar, his little brother. Snook, of course, and Sunshine's with them as well.
Can't forget Sunshine.
No, not at all. One thing to note, though, is Snook looks pretty different. I think last time you saw him, you probably noted that his, like the picture here, it's a kind of a, I don't know, like a brown red kind of brick sort of color, and he was almost like pink last time you saw him, like his scales, and this time he's almost completely white. Like his scales have just changed color. Maybe there's like a hint of pink, maybe like a rose kind of about him. But yeah, they all greet you. I think who had it? Maybe both of them did. Pip and Nilsa had like those little kind of hand carved ukuleles that sort of like they probably didn't even have strings, but this is what heroes wear, so they're slung over their backs, and they all kind of I think they all sprint over to you, the two of you, and then as they get kind of close, they slow down and just kind of, especially Pip and Nilsa, just kind of nod their heads and just like, heroes return. So greetings, fellow adventurers.
That was Pip, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know if you said somebody in particular. Maybe I just thought that was what you said.
No, I like it. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, so I think now at this point, Serafina she's in a weird, like, sensitive spot. So she kind of like opens her arms up and is like, warriors, this is a special halfling greeting, everyone. And then she like literally is just like basically just hugging everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, warrior greeting, and just like hugging and being like cute with everyone and like patting them on the heads and just make, I feel like she'd be a little more like caring and conscientious of like, how are you? Oh my God, you're so tall. Oh wow, look at you. Oh my, Snook, you just what a beautiful change. And just kind of,
Yeah, and Snook really loves licking your hand, unlike any other animal we know. But yeah, I think he's when you praise his scales, he just kind of looks up and smiles with all these like pointy teeth.
And then maybe she goes over to Nilsa and looks over at the magical ukulele on their backs and says like, oh my, are you all starting a tavern band? And just kind of like, hey, and all the kids laugh.
She's like, well, magical ukuleles are very good at taverns, but they're also, a magical weapon that you can use against evil.
And I think Serafina would say, just kind of get a little somber and say, well, sometimes you just can't fight all of the evil in the world, Nilsa, but we all can try. So, what else has been going on around here? And she's kind of like walking along the path, I think, at this point, and just like looking around and, seeing if there's been any changes since she's been gone.
And I think Carp, the halfling child, is kind of looks around and comes up to you, and maybe he's like just pulling on like your shirt or something, or maybe the buckles of your armor or something like that, And he's like, Miss Serafina.
Well, of course, Carp. And then pinches his cheek and messes with his hair.
Oh, and he just smiles and then like puts it back, although it was just as messy. And he says, Mrs. Serafina, where is Xanth and Inverna?
And at this point, Serafina realizes she can't just charm her way through this situation. The kids obviously notice that 2 people are gone. So she has a choice to make. So she looks at Shanjan and back at the kids and says, I think a little more unceremoniously of her, just says, kids, sometimes in war, lives are moved and shift around. And people come and go. They have other battles to fight. Sometimes they have to go to a new place. And in this last battle, well, they all had to go somewhere else. So it is just the 2 of us now. and hopefully you all will accept that. And she just kind of, I think at this point, just keeps moving. So she just keeps walking and doesn't even really, like the kids are just kind of standing there, and she's just like, I got to get to somewhere else.
Yeah. I think they just all kind of are looking at each other like, what? What does that mean, huh? And yeah, where do you go to?
I think I would probably go, I guess to Town Master, or no, to what's his name, Harbin Wester's home. Don't I get money or something?
Um, yeah, maybe.
I can't remember.
Yeah. So let's see. Your quest that you went on was the
Oh,
Woodland
expect him
Manse.
to reward me.
Yeah. So yeah, there wasn't actually a reward for this. Falcon was going to give it to you himself. Because I believe you got the money from the Dragon Barrow before.
Well, that's okay. I guess she has everything she needs. So
Yeah,
maybe.
you do have quite a good cash supply, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was thinking maybe I'll just go spend it.
There you go. And actually, as you're kind of maybe walking around the rest of the town, deciding what to do, it's kind of strange. There's not a lot of people out, especially for the middle of the day. And in fact, maybe there's like a gnome that walks by, and you're like, oh yeah. Also, all of Gnomengarde is supposed to be here too, so it's very strange that there's not a lot of people around.
So I think at this point, Serafina is just like I said, she's had a shift. So I think she now at this point, let's go buy some shit. I mean, sorry, let's go buy some stuff.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah, I put the stores up in the top left corner if you forgot or need a reminder,
I did forget. Let's see. Okay. So I want to go to, I guess, the Miners Exchange. I don't have like a lot of stuff on me.
You stored a lot of stuff with Halia, yeah, in the Minor
Oh,
Exchange
what
last
did I
time.
store? Is there anything good in there that can help me fight a dragon?
So if you go all the way down in Roll20, there should be in Special Items tab, there's one just for Serafina, and that's theoretically the stuff you have on you. And then there's another one stored with Halia. So you actually put 3 things in there. I thought it was more, but you have that Dread Helm, the immovable rod, and the Pull of Collapsing with Halia. And then you do have roughly 1 million things on you. But they're not overly, these are all basically pocket stuff.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm wearing cargo pants.
Well, you have a backpack, at least. But I do love the idea of cargo pants over your leather armor too. Leather cargo pants. That's pretty amazing. Oh no, you were wearing a mithril shirt. That's right. It's like that chain that's almost like a dress on you, I guess. That was from Big Al's father, I think.
Doesn't mean I can't have like cargo pants on though.
Oh, absolutely not. Of course you
do. Okay, so I guess if I don't know if I want that immovable rod. So maybe I'll go to Lion Shield Coster.
Sure, that's where kind of like weapons and armors are at generally.
Let's go buy some weapons. Seraphina's fired up.
Yeah. Sure. So let's see if you remember. This is also where Veline works. Yeah. Oh, I hate this. I didn't
Is
name
that who
these.
Shan Janice has a crush on?
Yeah, I didn't name these people, and it's really annoying. But the woman who owns it is Lenine, and then her person that's helping her is Veline. What have you done, writers of this adventure? Uh, anyway, yeah, she looked at this the one lady. Um, but yeah, when you go in there, actually, I guess a little easier. Just Veline is in there. And if you remember, she had a bunch of little Cobalt helpers, but
Mhm.
it's just her here. Like those Cobalt helpers aren't here, nor is Lenine.
Okay, just the sexy lady.
Right. And she's just like, has her elbows on the counter and just looks very bored. If she had a a smartphone, she would be on it.
True. So they walk into the Coster, and of course, the old Serafina kind of comes back a little bit, and she, pokes Shanjan in the thigh and goes, "Well, hello there, Eveline. It's so good to see you. We're back from an adventure." And just kind of like runs over, and maybe there's like a step stool at the counter.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So she like gets on the step stool and puts her arm on like the counter and is like, "We're here to buy some weapons. Let's get down to business."
Yeah, and she kind of it's like, oh, so much energy, and then looks to Shanjan too. Just, I think she just doesn't say anything. She just gives him eyes, like, oh hi. She's like, well, that's what we have here. Do you have anything in particular you're looking for? Looks like you have a pretty good sword there, but lots of arrows, all kinds of things. You how you doing? How are you handling that stick back there? And Shanjan's like, maybe it makes like a what terrible bird would erupt from his stick at this point.
Turkey.
Yeah, so go give us a turkey gobble. Yeah. Maybe that happens, and then he just drops his stick of bird calling and picks it back up.
I want
As
all
there's
the
like,
birds to sound at once.
yeah, yeah. There's like a rooster. There's a screeching hawk.
That's really funny. So gosh, what else? So then what do I have on me right now? Like, how many arrows do I have? Do I need more arrows? Should I get something heavier?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the type of person that really cares about how many arrows you have. Like, you don't have to count them or anything. So if you want to just give a gold piece or two, I think it's just one, buys 20 arrows if I remember correctly, at least in previous editions. But
Okay.
yeah, you can just say that and just do the flavor of replenishing the arrows if you want.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm here because, and she gets all like serious and gets in Valine's kind of like ear and is like, "I'm here because we're on a mission." And Serafina looks at Shanjan and she's just, she says, "There's a fire in me. Now that our friends have gone and it's just the two of us, we need to protect this town and protect this whole nation from the evil that roams in the skies." And I think Shanjan is just kind of like probably looking at her like, okay. And like, why are you telling her this? And then Serafina is just like, "I need arrows." And then she puts down a coin and then she says, "And I need to see your best dragon slaying weapons." And then puts down a bunch more coins.
Well, remember you got that dragon slaying like blessed sword from that ghost too.
That's true.
And she's like, "Oh, well, We have arrows here for sure. I thought your and she looks at Shanjian. She says, I thought your girlfriend might have bought them all, but she left you some. But and Shanjian's just like, what girlfriend? What are you who are you mean? She's like, Valine is says, yeah, that other elf that you guys are hanging out with all the time. And he kind of
Oh. And Seraphina's like looks at Shanjan and looks back at Feline and says, oh, you thought, oh, no, 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 no. No, if anything, Inverna is more my girlfriend. And then kind of looks over at Shanjan and like does a super obvious wink. And she's like, yeah, yeah, no, she's just our best friend. But you've seen her? When did you see her? What did she buy? And which way did she go?
Yeah, and I think Valine is like, oh yeah. Actually, it does make sense now that I think about it. Yeah, she came in here, bought a bunch of stuff. She was on, I mean, I don't even know if she stayed the night. In and out. It was surprising that you two weren't here. But yeah, I don't know. I assume she went on that big, I don't know, parade that that big rancher went on, taking half the city with him. But I don't know. She came a couple days after they left, so. And goodbye.
Sorry. All right, I'm sorry. You said that she came and left?
Yeah, probably didn't even spend the night. Also, my guess would be she tried to catch up with that parade that was going to led by that rancher guy that came around. They're going to get some kind of dwarven place or something. I don't know.
Wait a minute. Tell me more about this parade. And then she like reaches into her purse and is like, I mean, I don't have to buy weapons while I'm in here, right? I can also buy conversation.
And she kind of looks down at the coin, looks back up, and she's like, oh, yeah, I mean, you can definitely buy conversation, but I don't know if I'm the person to talk to about that. I try to stay out of this town's affairs as much as possible. It's pretty boring if I'm being really honest, but yeah, I mean, Lenine, my boss, was really worked up about it, and she packed most of her stuff and thought she was gonna, I don't know, rejoin the army or whatever. But she riled up a lot of other people around here too, and a bunch of them went down. I think they hired mercenaries, Red Brands or something. But that was a while ago. That might have been actually. Yeah, she looks at Shanjan for a second. She's like, might have been not too long after the last time I saw you two.
So the two of them just kind of like exchange glances, and then she says, well, if you don't mind telling me, which way were they marching? And do you know what they were marching for?
I mean, again, I try to stay out of it. I don't know a lot. I think they were just going to a dwarf place. That's kind of all I know. Usually I depend on my delightful little creatures to tell me what's going on in the town, but they up and left, all except for Snook. And I mean, I lost him to those kids a long time ago.
That does explain why there's no one here. Well, that is some interesting news, don't you think so, Shanjan?
And I think you just catch him just kind of like staring at Valine, like with his head tilted slightly. He's like, oh, what? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's true. There's lots of arrows.
All right, Shanjan. Well, maybe keep an eye on the traffic outside. You know, horse traffic.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, Shanjan, if you're going to be so helpful, maybe you could, the very least, figure out which way these soldiers were going.
Okay. So are you leaving the coster?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to ask her.
Okay. Yeah. So you
Doesn't
kind of
sound like she has anything else to say.
nah, not really. I think you kind of replenish your arrows and then head out.
Okay.
So yeah, I think just the impression you get is she doesn't really know the rumors going on here. Although
Mm,
those, she also said all of her Cobalt helpers just left or ran away. I think.
right. All right. So I think at that point, she would probably go to the Stonehill Inn.
Yeah.
So she's like, all right,
Oh, I have a
Shanjan.
picture for that.
And then I think she just kind of like, they leave the lion shield.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're like outside walking around, she just looks up at Shanjan and she's like, you know, this is where we should go to the Stonehill after this. Because if we can't get information out of Aline, then we need to go where people are having one too many butter skulls, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. And she's like, if we can have a nail and maybe sing a song, we can get some people chatting around here. I think that's a great idea. What do you think, Shanjan? And I'm not just using this as a chance to go get ale. Yes, I am.
I think like he says, yeah, I wouldn't mind some ale. And he's like, wow, can't believe she remembered me. That's wow.
Mhm. Well, I don't know. Did she remember you? Or did she remember Inverna? And she just kind of like teases him as she keeps walking.
He's like, oh man, maybe you're right. But yeah, maybe you're having that conversation as you go into that the inn. And yeah, again, this place is, I mean, it's not a very big village to begin with, but there's usually some patrons in here. And I think just the only one here, there's just like one person, just at one staff member who, of course, you remember Elsa, this lady. And there's just one, patron. It's your favorite cousin. Hobby Basil. So yeah, I don't think she's like overly drunk this time. She's just kind of like maybe the two of them are talking. That's interesting. They're just like sitting at the table, just kind of chatting with each other. And when you come in, Hobby's like, Serafina, Teeny, you're back. She kind of jumps up, and I think she just stands on the stool of this. Imagine like a bench style table, So stands up on this bench. She's like, get over here.
And of course, Beanie comes over and she's like, oh, my favorite cousin. Oh, I mean, I'm not surprised to see you here again. And just kind of like teasing each other, like, ah, they all start laughing.
Yeah. She says, oh, where's your buddy?
And Serafina gets like immediately serious and, slides into the like seat next to Elsa, I guess. And so I would assume Shanjan would sit down at that point too.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, well, that's why we're here. That, and of course, to say hello to you beautiful ladies, and maybe a pint of ale. But seriously, ale.
Yeah, and I think Elsa stands up and she's like, well, don't worry, honey, I got you covered. And she gets up and
So
starts pouring a mug for the two of you.
perfect. So then Feeny kind of launches into her speech and just says, as she's like, like takes like a big drink of her ale and then puts it down on the table and says, well, we're here for more pressing matters. It is true. Inverna made the decision to leave in the middle of the night. And perhaps that was my fault because I asked her to do something that was against her desires. And I made the decision that I thought was best to help who I was trying to help. But now I've heard from Valine that there is some sort of march, and it sounds like Inverna might be in it. Where is everyone? What is this march about? We just need to find our friend and continue forward to slay the dragon.
Yeah, and Hobby's like, oh yeah, bunch of people. That rancher guy from Butterskull, Big Al, he came around, and he said, there's, I guess on that quest board there was something about a dwarven fortress that could be used to protect people against this dragon if it comes around, and a bunch of people decide to go over there and kind of clear out the keep, the castle. I don't know. I've never met a lot of dwarves, but whatever that thing was. So just in case all the people here and all the new gnomes in town have a place to go in case the dragon comes over here. And then I think Elsa comes and drops the ale down, and she's like, "Oh, but honey, you're a friend. Nope. How's the southern accent work? Mm-hmm. Hey, y'all, don't worry. I wouldn't worry about your friend marching over down with them. She was here for a little bit. She got one drink and then left, and she was here. I mean, a few days after they all left. Didn't seem like she had the seemed too interested in any things going on or going marching down or doing anything that happened recently. I don't even know if she knows about that whole thing. But she did seem determined. She's going somewhere, but my money wouldn't be with Big Al or any of them.
So you think Inverna had her own mission?
Oh, well. And she kind of, leans her hand on her hip, She's like, well, that woman always, I mean, if you look in her eyes, she always has a mission to do something. She's a very intense individual. I think she's always got a plan, 3-4 plans all at once. And she wasn't sightseeing, if you catch my drift. She was in and out.
Well, so this place that everyone is going to, it's a shelter or a fortress of some sort?
She's like, yeah, that's what they say. There was I'm sure you know about that quest board over there. There was it must have still been here when you were here last, but there was a quest to, clear out this old fortress down the south in the mountains there. And, lots of us ain't, as seasoned as fighters as you two. So they got a big old party together. And I think, shockingly, Harbin even put up some money to hire some mercenaries to help him out too. But that was a week or two ago. That was last time you were here. So, I mean, they might be on their way back, hopefully. How long does it usually take to clear out like a dungeon or something like that? I never done that.
Well, I feel like it only should take a couple days, and you said they've been gone for how long?
Oh, at least a week or two.
Oh no.
I mean, I guess it was a bunch of folk. Some walk slower than others.
And then maybe she looks at Shanjan and says, "This is sounding mighty suspicious. What do you think?"
Janson's like, yeah, I do actually remember. Last time we were here, there were like 3 quests on that board, and there was one that we didn't get to. I guess everyone else decided to do that last one.
But do you think they should have been gone this long?
I don't know. I guess if they really wanted to be safe, it would take a while, but he kind of just shrugs.
She seems a little suspicious, obviously. And so then she says to Shanjan, "Well, if that's true then, and Verna didn't go to clear out the castle, where do you think she went?"
And I think Shanjian starts to say something, and Hobby's like, well, if you're going to ask me, I have my suspicion. There's this dragon. You were just talking about it. I think she's going to go get it herself. I never saw someone walk around with that many arrows on one single person. And trust me, my whole job is to, port stuff from town to town. I've never even had that many arrows on me.
You make a mighty good point there.
And, ever since I saw you in Phandalin, you guys have just been talking about this dragon. It almost ate me, but you didn't seem very worried then. But now, apparently, when she decides to split up and take a shortcut, now she decides she wants to kill a dragon. Seems like weird timing, but whatever. At least someone's doing it. Of course, that I was going to go on this little quest to, get rid of this, clear out this dwarven place, Axholm, I think they called it. But, I just didn't want to slow anyone down or anything. But I would, of course, have done it.
Oh, of course, Elsa. Nobody ever has to say why they don't want to go do a quest. Sometimes it's more important that you stay behind in the town.
Hobby said that, by the way. But yeah, she's yeah.
Hobby? That's what I meant.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're Stoneheart, so we're, adventurers to the bone, to the heart. But I just had such a big tab run up here. I didn't want to, skip out on anything. I think Elsa just gives her like a dirty look, like, yeah, you got quite that tab, Steel.
Exactly. But I mean, Elsa, why didn't you go? Are you both not scared of the dragon? Don't you both want to go hide in the castle too?
Oh, well, truth be told, honey, if they come back here and that castle's cleared out and safe, I'll be first in line, if we're being honest here. But I'll let them professionals clear the way first. But old Topin went there. He's getting up there in age, but I don't know. I got to respect him. He did leave it in the care of his wife, the inn here with his wife and myself, I guess.
That is true. And I think at this point, maybe now her wheels are turning. She says, she finishes her beer and she's like, all right, Shanjan, it's time for us to make a plan. And then she giggles. Oh man, this really brings me back to the old days when we were soldiers in the war. It was just me and you, making friends, flirting around. drinking ale from
And
town to town.
yeah, and I think Shanjian's like, well, you're the one flirting around more than me, but those were good times.
Well, I think it's time that we have one more ale, make a plan, and then get to work.
Yeah, so maybe you, like there's another round, and Hobby's just like, oh, I'll pay for this one. Just put it on my tab. And Elsa just like rolls her eyes, but gets 3 beers for everybody, and she probably sits down with one too. Why not? And let's see. I think maybe as you're, I don't know if you had a specific thing to say, but maybe if the conversation just continues, one thing that comes up to is Hobby says, oh, one thing you got to watch out for. So these two, these two awful people came through. I would try to stay away from them. They're in the other bar, I think, thankfully, but no, I don't like these two at all. You got to watch out for them. And Elsa's like, oh, well, I know the Serafina's met these two before. These two are part of the Stone Cold Reavers, they call them. They're supposed to be adventurers too, but they ain't got a heroic bone in their body. They're the worst sort of adventurers. I think Serafina already knows to stay clear of them. I'm just glad their whole crew ain't here, just the two of them for once.
The Reavers were the people from the house. I don't remember.
Yeah, they're in the like near the very beginning. They were like the bullies that were always like at the quest board too, and just like, we're too good for any of these quests. These suck.
Right.
And then at some point they're just like, well, we're just moving on to another place. There's no money or good stuff here. Apparently 2 of them are back of the 5.
Oh. And then, yeah, I think Serafina probably is like, oh, well, would you listen to that, Shanjan? Our old friends, the Reavers, have returned. And then she kind of mutters to herself, like, don't know why. Didn't really seem to want to help before, but, oh, well, hey, any help is welcome when you're in need, right? I'm trying to be like positive and shit.
And he's like, yeah. Well, if it's all the same, I don't know if I would even want their help.
I mean, you're not wrong, Shanjan. Sometimes it's better to stand your ground than to work together. But it is a strong heart way to at least try. I mean, the best we can do is be polite, right?
Yeah, we try that again. I mean, ugh.
Well, we'll steer clear no matter what. But if we happen to run into them, we know we can handle it. I wonder if they're doing any quests while they're out here. I wonder if they're the reason why it's been taking over 2 weeks for people to travel back from the castle.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be related. I don't see how, but I mean, definitely weirder things have happened. And if there was trouble going on in this town, I mean, from what I've seen, they would be behind it.
Well, best to not even worry about them right now. The more we are concerned about them, the less we're concerned about our mission.
Yeah, and what is the mission, do you think? Are we going to go to find this dragon now?
I guess. I mean, what else do I need to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like if anything, maybe try to go find Inverna and kill the dragon together. Because it sounds like Inverna's already on her way.
Yeah, that seems like the worst part of it. Like, if she went by herself, I mean, that's real bad.
I don't want her to go by herself either, so.
I mean, don't get me wrong, she's tough as nails, but I mean, it is a dragon.
Exactly.
So yeah, I guess an ice dragon. Is there any place that sells coats here? We're probably gonna need some furs or something. I don't want to. You remember? And then maybe he just pauses for a second, like shivers. He's like, and almost kind of like leans down and whispers. And Hobby's just like also trying to be polite, but like leaning in, like, "Ooh, I want to hear this." But he's like, "Yeah, when in the war of the Silver March is when we saw those other white dragons. They just when they flew over us, it was like the coldest day that I've ever had. It just brought me right back, and that was just being under them on the battlefield. If we're gonna be face to face with one, I can't imagine." And he kind of looks around and just like it's the middle of summer. It's almost midsummer, and it feels like almost winter here, and it's miles and miles away.
And I think Seraphina at that point would probably like look at Hobby and say, "No, he's right. We need to find furs because that day that we felt that dragon, it was more than what Shanjan even said. It wasn't just the longest day, but it was the coldest day. A day that you could feel it in your bones. And there are times at night that I wake up with that same chill. And the last thing you want, Hobby, is to be here if that happens. So the two of you must consider going to the castle if it's empty. But in the meantime, we need to find furs and things to put around our boots and maybe even long johns. Where can we find these things?"
Yeah, and Elsa's says, "Oh well, yeah, probably the best place to go would be probably Barthen's, the general store. That'd be, I mean, maybe the Miners Exchange. I don't know. Are you guys going to climb too? There might be stuff there. Like Halia does sell mining supplies, or she used to. I guess she mostly just does gems and stuff now. I don't even know if she has stuff. But either way, Barthen's probably got that all covered."
"Oh, that's right. Oh, you'd think I've been out of Phandalin for years. Time to go to Barthen's." And then she's like, sings a jingle with the Barthen's jingle.
How's that go again?
"General store and horses stuff and anything that you need. From jerky to bubble gum to leather for your knees. General store and horses." "General store and horses stuff. Whiskey and nicotine. Get your furs here. Get your bear meat there. Barthen's in Phandalin."
Amazing. Sure. So
It's right there in the song. Furs. Duh. Why didn't we think of that?
oh yeah, I only sing the first verse. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows general store and horses stuff.
All right. So yeah, I think yeah, I mean, this isn't a huge scene. So you go to this general store. If you remember, there are these two strapping young lads. One's a human and one's a halfling. Their names are Ander and Thistle. They're usually here, and they are not here. It's only like the very elderly Elmar Barthen that's here. And he's like, "Oh, Seraphina, it's been so long. Your friend brought those horses back. I must thank you again for treating Grambly and Arbuckle so nice."
Oh, well, I truly do appreciate you, Mr. Elmar. So, where are the boys? Are they perhaps out on that mission as well?
Oh, yes, yes. Big Al, well, recruited them right up. I couldn't talk them out of it. So, if you need anything, well, then he looks at you. I was going to say anything on a tall shelf, but we both might be at a disadvantage here.
Ah, that's okay. That's why I brought my friend Shan Jan.
He's like, I sure am tall, I guess.
So, we're actually in need of some warmth for cold climates. Possibly some furs, maybe a long john, maybe one of those magical rocks that you put in your hand that makes your hand warm.
Oh, that sounds great. I don't think I have any of those. That would come in very handy, especially in this unseasonably cold summer. Yes, well, I do have several coats and jackets and all these things. Here you go. And there's like a section that you could pick out. Like this would be like the sweet new action figure for Serafina or something, like the winter.
Winter Serafina.
Yeah.
So maybe she's looking through this rack and she finds it's like a vest, and it's like white fur.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Maybe Shanjan finds like a nice, like a wintry robe. It's like blue and white or something. It has like a hood.
Makes sense. Yeah.
He probably has. Oh, go ahead.
I think hers has a hood too, but
Yeah.
it's only like half sleeves because, she's like needs to move her arms around.
Oh, yeah. Good point. And he probably has like boots and stuff with the spikes and all that. All the winter stuff that you need. You can get that. He has it. No need to worry. It's and maybe as you're, cashing out or whatever, he says, will you be taking the horses again?
And then maybe she says, that's not a bad idea. Maybe we should take the horses.
I will say, Grambly and Arbuckle are just almost sad since they were brought back. Good thing Targitor is still being taken care of.
Ah, yes, good old Targitor. Well, to be fair, I kind of miss those old horsey borsies too. And then
He kind of raises an eyebrow, like,
Horsey boysies. There you go. That one's better. I miss those old horsey boysies too.
Saved it.
I thought that was better. I don't know. And then so she's like, what do you say, Shanjan? Reunite with Grambly and Arbuckle?
And he just like, heck yeah. I don't know. But the bit of information here I'm trying to convey is that someone dropped off these horses but kept Targitor for themselves.
Yeah, I thought that was right.
Yeah.
Somebody kept Targitor.
Could have been anybody.
Who? Oh.
So if you remember, you left all three of these at the Woodland Manse.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, is there anything else you think you might need to buy here? I guess like if you need rope or something, I guess maybe buy some rope.
Maybe some rope, maybe a little bit of snacks,
Oh, that's a good point. I think I'm going to take a cue from Dungeon World here because going grocery shopping is boring in real life, let alone in fiction. So, you can put somewhere that you just have like supplies and just use them 5 times. And when you use it the 5th time, you've used all your wintry supplies. Does that sound fair?
Supplies are great.
Cool.
You mean you don't want me to say jerky, beef, turkey?
I was talking about the winter stuff, like rope, a hook to put a rope in.
Cheese.
I assume you're buying food too.
Water in a canister. I assume it's in a canister. Rope, a hook, those snowshoes that look kind of like rackets, tennis rackets.
Yeah, so you don't have to name them now, just whenever you think
socks,
you need them.
Mittens.
Cool. So yeah, anything else here?
Skunk spray. A scarf. Wait, a scarf. Horse feed. You gotta eat.
Oh my God. Wow. He's like, well, there's 8 right there.
All right. I'm done now.
All right. So yeah, I guess you're leaving Barthen's now. And I don't know exactly where you're going, but let's just say you're walking about, going to your next destination. Could be anywhere. Actually, yeah, where is it, I guess? Where are you going next? Just back to the inn to go to sleep or to have dinner or something?
Yeah, let's have some dinner and then fucking go to sleep.
That makes sense. So yeah, so maybe it's like evening time, like the sun's low. It's not quite, night, but getting close. And you actually hear this commotion. And Shanjan is just like, what's going on over here? I think he's going to walk toward the commotion. I don't know if you're going to follow or what.
Yeah, I'm going to follow.
Okay. I was like,
sorry, I was waiting for you to say something.
Yeah, and in fact, as you start walking over there, you hear Carp yell, like scream.
Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
Come on.
Who screams?
A child, Carp, probably.
Oh no. So yeah, so now Seraphina is running towards where this scream is going.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if there'd be any interesting place. Oh, maybe just in front of the quest board thing in the townmaster's hall.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like in the background, but you see the Carp on the ground, and these 2 adults are standing over all these people or all these children, and I think Nilsa is just like, all right, you better take that back, to these 2 adults, and kind of takes out her basically like wooden sword,
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I'll show you these 2 people. It's a man and a woman. You see that guy?
Yeah, he looks terrible.
Yeah. And this woman.
Not hot. Laggard.
Yeah, kind of. And they're they're probably wearing like wintry kind of clothes too, I guess. Unlike that picture, probably a little bit. But this guy in particular is just kind of laughing, like, "Boy, there, little squirt, you're gonna poke me with that little splinter?" He's like, "Oh God," and just looks to the woman and just like, like, "Can you believe this?" And the woman's just, I feel, as you're approaching, just has no, like, a expressionless face, not even, as almost like she's just like sleeping, almost just observing everything happening, or like sleepwalking, I guess I should say. And he's like, all right, well, I'm just saying that cat's the ugliest goddamn thing I've ever seen, and I don't want it around here. You got about 3 seconds, kid. And Carp just is still like he's just crying. It's like, but no, Sunshine is so he's the prettiest cat. Like you can't talk to him like that. And he's like, well, whatever. And he's gonna kick this cat. And that's when you come in.
I think Serafina like swoops in and kind of like does one of these motions where she scoops the cart behind her, and she immediately goes to like kick his leg as he's kicking the cat. So she just like takes her leg and like kind of like buckles in his knee, you know.
Oh, nice. Yeah, make an attack roll. Let's see how well you do. You know how to do this, right?
I think so.
So your character token is on the little screen. So if you hold shift and double click it, it'll bring up your sheet.
Oh yeah.
And then from there, I guess I don't think I have an unarmed attack for you. So
what do I hit now?
Yeah, I guess this would really just be shucks. I didn't think you would ever make an unarmed attack. I didn't make it for you. I guess you can make this like an ability check. If you just roll you're trying to hurt him or just trying to make sure that he doesn't kick this cat, I guess.
Make sure that he doesn't kick the cat.
Okay, I'll let that be a dexterity then. If you just on the left side, all your abilities are there. And if you hover over the dexterity one, the second one, it should turn red. If you click that, you can make a dexterity roll.
Where's my stupid thing? I see my little 3 circles and I see my dagger bonus action and yada, yada, yada. Where's my other thing?
Oh, is your character sheet up? I think while you're clicked on your token, if you hold shift and double click it.
Oh. So I have to do dexterity.
Yeah. Oh, that was a dexterity save, but
wait,
you're fine.
How was I supposed to do a dexterity thingy?
No, you're okay because it's just 3 more. So just subtract 3 from this, which is either way still outrageous. So you got an 18 instead of a 21, which is a very good roll. So so you said you wanted to kind of make his knee buckle. So yeah, I love that.
You know how like it's so annoying when people used to do that too in like elementary school and middle school.
Yeah, you like kick their calf. Yeah,
kick the back of their knee or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you do that, and he kind of goes to one knee, especially because he's probably wearing armor and stuff under these furs, and also a bunch of heavy furs. And then this woman here, I guess much like her picture, takes out this. I should also say she is huge. Like she's probably like more than 6 feet, like 6.5 feet maybe. So I think you're like 3 feet or something like that. So at least double your size. The man is not as tall as she is by any means. But she takes out this sword that's probably the length of you. It's like as long as you are. And now she actually has an expression like she's very mad. And this guy kind of from one knee kind of just starts laughing, just like, oh God. Oh wow. I remember you. You're that little lady trying to get quests and things. And he kind of puts his arm up to this woman. It's like, put your steel away. She ain't nothing. And he kind of, labors, gets back up, and he's like, that was good though. That's a sneak attack. You're something else. It's been a while. I can see you've been practicing, doing something.
Well, I remember you too. And you know what? it's not necessarily a sneak attack as much as it is a manners check, sir, because you are these are my friends in my town here, and you're disrespecting these kids by teaching them violence and on an animal for shame. For shame.
And he's like, he looks at Nilsa with her. She's still like holding this wooden sword, and he's like, I think they've kind of got violence down already. I'm not gonna influence too much there. But hey, I'm glad you took a town. That's pretty good. It's always good to have a base of operations, but hey, we're all treasure hunters here. I didn't mean to upset you. I didn't know that these kids were yours or whatever. Here, and he kind of reaches into his pocket, or maybe like just reaches in his pocket, whatever, and just like throws like a handful of gold coins at you. Like one of them probably hits you in the face, and he's like, "Yeah, we're all even. Don't worry about it. There's a. I don't want to start any trouble." And the tall woman is just like, Barlow, you shouldn't be giving coins out like that. And he's like, Runa, shut up. It doesn't matter. We're sitting on a dragon horde. We got plenty to spare. Get over it. Anyway, have a good night. I'll leave you to your little town here and your little tykes. And he starts walking away, and then he kind of looks back and just like points at Nilsa. It's like, this one's feisty. She's going places. You might be a stone cold reaver next time I come back, little kid. And Carp's like still crying. And they walk away unless you do anything.
I think Serafina would run up in front of the guy and says, wait a minute. Have you guys seen the dragon too? You know, you might think of me as just some little adventurer over here, but my friend Shanjan and I were in the war, and we've been face to face with one of these ice dragons before. Where's the horde? And have you seen our friend Inverna?
And then this guy, Barlow was his name. He kind of looks up at Runa was her name. And she's just going back into expressionless. She just kind of looks at him as if, he was a wall. But he's smiling up at her and just looks back to you and just like, oh, well, a veteran, huh? That's very few and far between. No one's been in a war around here. No, I'm sure it was very impressive. You've probably seen a lot of ice dragons. But yeah, don't worry about it. We got ours, so... You got this town, we got our horde, so don't worry about that. And I don't know what your friend was, but if she went after that dragon, I promise you she's dead. There's no way she's going to slay some dragon, especially not ours. So, sorry. I don't know. My condolences. Is that all you need, though? I kind of, one other pint.
Well, if that's the case, we can go to Stonehill together. My cousin's there. I have another pint, but I need to know more about this dragon. Did you slay this dragon?
The stone? I'm not going to that piss hole. We go over to the other bar. It's way more our style. So you go ahead and do whatever you want, but I don't know. I'm pretty thirsty. I don't know. What's your question? You wanted a dragon? Yeah, don't worry about that. You just worry about your bar, your children here.
And then she steps right up in front of him and like blocks him from where he's leaving and says, I need you to tell me about the dragon now. Where did you get all this money? And where is the dragon?
And then he kind of very condescendingly, I think, just kind of leans down and just like, all right, listen, you're pretty cute, but now you're kind of getting on my nerves. Like I said, we found a dragon. We found its horde. That belongs to us. Finders keepers. We're all treasure hunters here, okay? We got a code. we stake our claim on that dragon horde. Don't worry about that dragon no more. Stone Cold Reaver's going to slay it, and we're going to get all the rest of the money.
And then,
so you're not needed. Thanks. And if you could just please step aside.
And then Feeny steps exactly where he's stepping. And then she puts her hand up to him and she says, I'm not afraid of you, and I don't care how big you are. I don't want your horde, and I don't care about the money. I care about saving people, and I care about protecting others so that they don't have to go through what we went through. Yeah, we're adventurers. We have a code, but that code doesn't include letting innocent people die because you care about money more than anything.
Yeah. And he's kind of like all right, well, and he stands back up. He's like, well, you can spend all your gold helping other people that are never going to would never give you gold in that situation. No one would. Runa here, I think he takes that pause like, yeah, when Runa over here, when she had problems, no one gave her gold. You just got to take what's available. That's what the whole treasure hunter thing's about. That's very admirable of you to do all that, whatever. But listen, the Stone Cold Reavers, we care about gold. And we found the jackpot. So, again, you don't have to worry yourself about helping these people because pretty soon this dragon's going to be 6 feet under. Or I guess, I don't know, 60 feet under. That's a big dragon. Don't worry about it.
Sounds to me like you haven't even attempted to slay this dragon yet. Maybe we could work together. What do you think?
And he's like, I'm not giving up a share of this stuff. That's a nice try. That's smart. But you got to wake up earlier to get one over on Barlow. I'm not giving my share out again. We split it 5 ways. And Runa says, no. He's like, all right. Well, the boss gets the money first, and then we split it 4 ways. What's left? I know, whatever. But we're splitting it so few now. We don't need to split up more, okay? That's what I'm trying to say.
5 ways? And then she looks over at Shanjan and says back to him, there's other people on the same quest to slay the dragon? I mean, if that's the case, just let us join you. We're not asking for any gold. We have everything we need. We just want to get rid of this dragon.
Then I think he kind of, furrows his eyes like he's confused. He's like, you're going to try to kill a dragon without even getting a share of the horde? Wow, you're dumber than you look. But you know what? Maybe. I don't know. We're going back to the boss probably tomorrow, so I'll go and ask her. I'll get back to you. I mean, you look pretty weak and pathetic, and we know you're stupid, but hey, dragon bait's dragon bait. I mean, I vote for you. But I'll put a good word in for you. But like I said, I'm going to leave tomorrow morning, so I want to get a head start on that drink. If you could get out of my way, please.
But wait, one last thing.
He just rolls his eyes dramatically.
You said your boss was a she. Is your boss perhaps a tall elf that possibly looks like she's from the Wild West?
Nah, you met her before. She was with your last time. She was with us last time we were here. She's the redhead.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess Good luck there, buddy.
And
And
he's
she
like,
like,
she is pretty wild though. And then I think Runa, the lady, just punches him, just like not playfully, just like almost knocks him over. And he's like, all right, God, touchy.
all right, well, Bruna, thank you. And she gives like a head nod. And then she says to this guy, kind of gives out her hand to like give him a handshake, but I don't know if he actually like meets her hand or not.
Oh yeah, maybe he looks at it for a second and just he just starts laughing like sure, and just shakes your hand. It's like so tiny, so tiny. You have a fine night, little thing.
All right. So then I think at that point, Feeny and Shanjan probably continue their trek back to the.
Yeah, I think when they leave, you look back and Shanjan's just like comforting Carp. Maybe he's like healed him, even though I don't think Carp was actually hurt, but
Right.
and Nilsa kind of puts her like wooden sword back in the her belt,
Mm-hmm.
and she's
Yeah.
like, "Thanks for that assist, Seraphina. Those people were truly evil. I'm glad they said they're leaving tomorrow."
And then, of course, I think Seraphina at that point is just like, well, you did a wonderful job of protecting everyone, Nilsa. Keep up the good work, soldier. And then kind of like gives her like a nice, like, like a half arm hug. And
Yeah, I love it.
and
Yeah,
then,
and Pip's like, "Yeah, I mean, they're lucky that they're leaving. If they stayed here another day, we would have probably vanquished them."
and I think she's like, oh, I believe it. I believe you 100%. I know you kids would take care of this town if good old Feeny isn't here. And then, maybe she like holds Carp's hand as they walk back to the inn to go take a sleep.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, so then, do you just kind of all retire after that?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. So then, um, so I guess the next day, I think you were kind of low on hit points, but once you take a full night's sleep, I think how D&D works is you get all your hit points back. So just mentally note that. I'll try and change it during the break. But yeah, what are you doing? Anything interesting in the morning? Maybe you come downstairs, into the inn, and maybe just Elsa's there. Or no, I'll say the what is it? Trelena Stonehill, the wife who's now kind of managing the bar. I guess she's co-owner of it anyway, but she's there. Maybe Elsa's not actually working for once. So you've not talked to her very often.
Yeah.
But she says, "Oh, Seraphina, it's good morning. It's so nice to see you. Pip speaks so highly of you."
Oh, well, Pip and all of the Fandelvers are probably the best part of my trips here to Phandalin. I've never known so many strong hearts that lived up to the name that aren't even halflings. Huh. Well, in any case, has everyone else here decided collectively that they're okay just waiting in case the dragging returns?
Oh no, my Toblin and many other people, Toblin, my husband, and several people went to secure a castle south for us that we can hopefully move to if the worst comes to worst. I
Hmm.
did it was did everything in my power not to let Pip go with him.
Huh. Well, you don't think it would be safer for Pip to go now?
Oh, I think the problem was that castle was still dangerous. They were making sure that it was all cleared out and safe for us.
Hmm. That's true. So when do you
Are
all think that you're going to go?
Oh, well, as soon as they come back, I've already have our stuff packed and ready. I think it's okay to leave the inn for just a week or two, just until everything's safe. And maybe she goes into the back or something, but you can still see her or hear her at least. And she's like, and what would you like some eggs? I guess.
Oh, oh my goodness. Yes. I will love some eggs. But only the way the tea leaves eat eggs.
Oh, and how's that?
Well, we like our eggs um steeped. I'm just kidding. I meant hard boiled.
She's like, oh well, that's great. I've already started boiling one for Pip too. He's when he comes back from um, Nilsa and Nars's place, um, he always likes to have that when he comes back, and
Ah,
he's
well.
gonna he'll adore that you're both having the same thing.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if you got my joke because I'm a tea leaf, so I like things steeped. Um,
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I see. I thought you were a strong heart. I'm always confused.
I'm a tea leaf, but also a
Ah,
strong
yeah.
heart. Just
Oh,
the
well, that
strong heart
doesn't clear it
family.
up.
The strong heart family. But on a serious note, do you have some tea? That is how I start my mornings.
Oh, that sounds splendid. I'll start brewing some now.
Ah, please, yes, Trilinda, join me for some tea, Linda. Some tea.
She's like, oh, good one.
Yay, I'm the funniest in the morning. Um, and then maybe she says, but since it's just me and you, before my friend Shanjan comes downstairs, um, I want to know if you've seen my friend Inverna because I know it's been hurting my friend. Yes, it's been really bothering him that our friend isn't gone. And my worst fear is that she's gone after the dragon, and now the Reavers are also going after the dragon. And I am now at a loss for who to help.
Yeah, maybe she comes and sits down. Maybe she gives you like an orange juice or something. Who knows if oranges exist? Oh, an apple juice. There we go. They're right on an apple orchard. So some good morning apple juice. And she says, yeah, it's been very hard since my husband's been gone for a couple weeks too. I think I understand. Um, I did see your friend, um, Madame Elf, Inferna. She came here just very briefly. She seemed sad.
Hmm. Sadder than usual?
I suppose so.
Well, uh, hmm. I just don't know what to do. I want to help slay the dragon, but I'm more concerned if my friend went alone. I mean, I just don't know what I would do if I didn't have backup during battles.
Hmm. Yes, I don't. I've never. Well, not fought anyone unless I had to. Uh, Taverns can get strange sometimes. I'm sure you know, but no, I understand that must be very hard.
Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Oh no, you're fine. You went out there just for a second.
Oh yeah, she
Can
was
you
just
hear
kind of
me?
yeah, she was just kind of agreeing with you. She's like, "Oh, that must be very
Oh,
hard."
okay. Sorry. Oh, sorry. The Roku just came back on.
Hmm?
Okay. So I think, I mean, it's just like a normal conversation. It doesn't really seem like I'm getting any information from her.
Yeah, if you have nothing to say, I think this woman kind of comes in. I think you met once near the beginning. This was she's another halfling. Kelleen is her name, but she kind of runs in with holding Carp's hand. This is his mother,
Hmm.
and she looked very worried, and she kind of as if you're like not even here, just like runs over to the woman, Trilinda, and it's just like, I'm so sorry. Oh, oh my God, you with the um Carp, tell Miss Stonehill what you told me. And Carp's like, he looks kind of terrified, and he looks over his shoulder, maybe to you, as if like, oh, help me, but who knows what he's even doing? And he says, looks back at Miss Stonehill, Trilinda, and he says, um, well, last night, uh, Pip and Nilsa, they went on a adventure. We told them not to go, but they wanted to vanquish evil. And this woman, Colleen, is just kind of shakes him a little bit. She's like, Carp, tell her the whole thing. And he kind of looks over his shoulder at you and uh, like talking to you instead. And he's like, they went to fight those two mean people from yesterday that wanted to hurt Sunshine.
Oh no. Well, which way did they go? Did you know the direction that they went in, or where they went to find them? Oh, we have to go after those kids before they go after the Reavers.
He says, no, they tried to fight him, but they just grabbed him and they put him on horses and they rode away, and they said they're gonna feed him to the dragon.
And then she grabs Shanjan's arm and she's like, "We have to go right now." Wait, no, Shanjan isn't there yet.
Oh
So
yeah, maybe
maybe
he's like walking down, like as this is happening.
so then she would run over and she would say, "We have to leave immediately. It seems as if the Reavers have taken the children." And at that point, I think she yells like, "We need to get on our horses and follow the tracks to to track the Reavers."
Yeah, that's a good time for a cliffhanger, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got a song to play us out?
Oh, yeah. They took the children, the Reavers, these bad people, the Reavers. They say they're gonna fight a dragon, but we don't know where they have gone. Reavers are the worst people. They're gonna take your money. They're gonna take your kids, and they're gonna leave you nothing. They only care about themselves. The Reavers, they only want to make you mad. The Reavers, they want to steal your gold. The Reavers, they're bad people. The Reavers. We gotta go save them, Shanjan.
All right.
All right, well, let's grab our horses and head out. We have to save the children before something bad happens to them. The Reavers.
Ooh, spooky. All right, let's take a little break.
Okay.
Oops. Hey, we're back. Oh my gosh. Hey, this is a game called Doisp. It stands for Dragon of Ice Spire Peak. I never say that. Um, my name's David. Guess what? I'm the GM or the DM, the Dungeon Master. I have a player with me too. My very beautiful wife. What's your name again? I forgot.
My name is Marisa, and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
Serafina Tea Leaf.
A little turnip right now. I love it. Yeah. So we're playing a game. Let's see. Ooh, last time was crazy. You returned to Fandlin. You're kind of home away from home since we started this game, and you're greeted by the fantastic Fandelvers, the what 5 children plus cat. That is Snook a child? Probably. I don't know. Maybe not. But uh,
We
he's
assume.
yeah, he's the height of a child, which I'm sure there's nothing offensive about that as a halfling, right? Anyway, so there was a different group of adventurers, unlike um, the fantastic Fandelvers, but the Stone Cold Reavers from way back in the beginning, kind of big bully types. 2 of them are here and were doing what they do. They were being bullies and almost kicked this cat, Sunshine, the mascot. You kind of intervened, and they kind of let slip that they knew where the dragon was and had its hoard or something that they were going to collect and slay this dragon. They didn't even need your help, I guess. But they were real mean to these kids, and the two oldest and most heroic, Nilsa and Pip, decided in the middle of the night apparently that they were going to fight these evil adventurers. But according to Carp, at least, not Carpet, but Carp, at least, they went to what was I saying? Oh, they did try to fight them, and then they basically literally kidnapped these 2 kids and went off to feed them to the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we were. You just bought luckily, some cold weather gear to find where this dragon was, apparently. I guess we left off, right? I guess we'll pick up right where we left off. You're in this inn, maybe, excuse me, maybe Shanjan has assembled everything that you need to kind of leave. You got your horses ready, or your backpacks, I guess, to horse her outside, I assume. I don't know how inns work. But as you're like walking out the door, I think maybe you almost trip over Snook, who's just like standing outside and in his almost completely white scales now. And if you remember, Snook was I don't know if we've ever said it, but hopefully it's obvious that he's a little kobold.
He's a little what?
It's a creature called a kobold.
Okay.
I don't know if we've ever said it particularly, but Valine had said it. Like her kobold companions all ran away, except for Snook, which she said, he belongs to the children anyway, so I give up on him. But anyway, Snook is there. You almost trip over Snook. And he kind of looks up and just says, Snook can help.
Oh, well, of course, Snoop, we would love your help. And she just kind of looks at Shanjan as like, well, what? Was talking more. And
I think Shanjan just like, I thought he could only say his name, like a Pokemon thing.
Well, I thought that he could only say his name too, but I guess he's just waiting to tell us something important. All right, well, Snook, and then maybe she puts out her hand and rubs his scales and then kind of like offers her hand to let him lick it and says,
oh yeah, he loves that.
oh, So, what can you help, Snook? What?
Hmm. Snook, Coldbolt, and Coldbolt from dragons. Dragons, big mothers, fathers of Coldbolts. Whenever they fly near or land and make home, Coldbolts are called every night in dreams. They call my brothers and sisters of Snook left to find father in the mountain. Snook stayed. Snook a fantastic Fandelver. But Snook still feels the dreams and the pools of the new one. And he kind of points up with this little like talon at this like mountain, like Ice Spire Peak, the tallest mountain around. It's like new father there. Snook feels it. Snook can bring you there.
Huh. Wow. That was incredible, Snook. Yes, please help us find the way. We need to save Nilsa and Kark.
Oh, Pip.
Pip. We need to save the children. We need to save your Fandelvers. This is the ultimate mission, Snook.
And he just vigorously nods. And maybe he gets on all fours and like runs around like a gecko for a minute, and like from a bush or something brings out this like sharpened like stick.
Oh my. Well, Snook, hopefully you won't have to use that stick because Shan Jan and I will be here to fight for you.
And Snook just nods and he says, Snook.
All right. Well, this is an unexpected turn, isn't it, Shan Jan?
And I'm adding a new person to your NPC list. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh. Snook.
I tried to find a white one, but that's all I could do.
All right.
So yeah, I think you get. I assume you've already gotten into your wintry gear and everything. And so is the idea to go right to the dragon's lair?
I think it's to try to save the kids on the way, right?
Yeah. Because let's see, you do know that the Stone Cold Reavers theoretically know where this dragon is. They know where its hoard is, and they're going to feed these kids to the dragon. At least that's what they're threatening. So we're back on the overland map here. And this is where Ice Spire Peak is. So I think it's going to be like a mountain climby kind of situation here.
Good thing I got all my rope and my spikes and my hooks and my other things.
Heck yeah. So let me bring you to another page. There, you can see that, right?
Yep.
So it's a cool thing. This is actually from a previous edition of Dungeons and Dragons. Oh wait, I forgot to heal you up too. You're at 45 now. So what's your speed? I think it's 25, right? Yes. Okay, so it's from another edition. It's the 4th edition. We're playing the 5th edition, but I'm stealing it because it's one of the coolest things. So it's called a skill challenge. So this is a time when you get to use all your fun skills that you usually don't get to. Um, so kind of the rules for this is that I'm gonna present you with some kind of obstacle, and you can. I'm gonna ask for some feedback so we can kind of come up with the obstacle together along the way to the dragon's lair, right? Or at least to where the Stone Cold Reavers are. And then you're gonna choose like how you're going to get around this obstacle and just roll a skill check. And the goal here is to get 5 successes before you get 3 failures. Does that make sense? I'm gonna be keeping track of this, but you can't use the same skill twice. And yeah, you just want to get the best kind. So I think, as we kind of described earlier, like the dragon just being in this area is making things colder and colder. And as it is pretty, obvious that you're going toward the dragon. So you're kind of, going toward the coldest place. It's like, let's go to the North Pole, I guess, situation. So as you're going, it's like colder and colder. You can see your breath, already probably within the first couple of hours of leaving Phandalin. And this is going to be a couple days journey too, because you're going through canyons and mountains and everything. Oh, you do have those 2 horses though. So that's a good thing. So that probably helps a little bit. Hopefully you can bring them through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the first big thing. Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Tell me something like what's something interesting about this cold that you deal with, even before you get to the worst of it. Like, how can you tell that this is going to be problematic?
That the cold?
Yeah. Like, how can you tell it's like a magical cold? Is it something unique or interesting about it? Or maybe something that might, in particular, make Seraphina scared or nervous.
I think she already mentioned that she felt this cold during the war.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, it's the kind of weird chill where your body's shivering, like, but you can't control it. It's just like her teeth are just chattering, and even though she doesn't even realize that she's that cold, but like all of a sudden you start feeling your jaw shake. And when you breathe out and you get that like frosty, like air, it sort of like sparkles.
Ooh, interesting.
So when you like breathe in and then you breathe out and you get that puff of like cold fog, it has just like the tiniest like iridescent little like sparkle to it.
Oh, so kind of beautiful, but in a terrifying kind of way too.
Yeah, I think that it would kind of like sparkle a little bit, and then as it falls to the ground, sort of become like ash, and so then the ground like has like all these like dark little flecks of ash on it.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
So that's the scary part.
Yeah, maybe
you like once you like see that sparkly fog that turns into ash, that there's like some sort of dragon nearby.
Yeah, it's like you're walking into the dragon's den, as it were. And yeah, and if you remember, we said long ago that you have these like the scars across your ribs, kind of from where that dragon sliced you during the war.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I feel your whole body is cold despite these furs and everything. But usually, I think we've said before that sometimes when you're kind of having these intense memories of fighting this dragon in this war, you feel like those scars kind of get cold. And I think it's almost the opposite at this point, though, because your whole body is so cold, but these like 3 or 4 scars down your ribs are just almost numb. They're like the only parts that aren't unbearably cold right now, which is perhaps even more unnerving. But the first big problem you get to, it's maybe right at the foothills of this mountain that you're going to have to start climbing up. But it's this huge lake that, it would take like days if you want to go around it. So you're going to have to go through this, like through the middle of this lake, basically. Although thankfully, with this ice kind of winter wonderland happening, this is giving you a benefit. Actually, there's a lot of these big, maybe the biggest one is like a kitchen table sized kind of a like chunk of ice, and there's a lot of them kind of like scattered across this lake, that it would be very challenging and difficult, but you might be able to, hop one to the other, or like kind of do the, like paddle across or something like that on one of these big chunks of ice, or you can go around the long way. But what do you think? What's the plan here for you three?
Okay, so you said that there was a which way? The rocks?
Like you have to go up into the mountain to get to where this dragon is. And this is like the foot of the mountain. So before you even start climbing, there's this huge lake that you have to, if you go around it, it's going to take you a lot longer, like probably days. But you can probably get through it because there's these big chunks of ice, although it's going to be very difficult. It's slippery ice. You could fall in this partially frozen lake. Looks like this lake is, either recently frozen or like about to be frozen, because there's all these like big, chunks. Am I describing that well enough? Do you picture it?
I've never really seen that, so I'm just trying to picture it. But yeah, I can kind of understand from movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to take too long to go around.
Yeah, so how this kind of works is if you bring up your character sheet, kind of a way you want to do it is, how do you think you would do it, first of all, and kind of describe that, and then together we're going to try to make a skill check out of it. So if you're totally stumped, you can kind of look at your skills and just, base it off one of them.
So like acrobatics, you mean?
Yeah, like if you were like, oh, acrobatics is pretty good. Maybe I do somersaults over it or cartwheels or something.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can do it one of two ways, right? You can either just say, oh, I know exactly how I would get past this obstacle, and just describe it. And then we can try and figure out a skill that would kind of match that. Or you can pick one of these skills and like, oh, I'm pretty good at, like you just said, acrobatics, and you can kind of make the story after that, whichever one you want. But again, you can't use the same skill twice. So if you use acrobatics now, you can't use it the rest of the game, basically. The rest of the night.
I think I'm going to try to use acrobatics.
Okay. So yeah, what's the intention? Just
I think that she might try to maybe like hop across the patches of ice that seem sturdy.
Yeah.
So like sort of like leap from one to the other.
Yeah.
Maybe, like just like being really light and nimble on her feet and like leaping from one to the other.
Oops. Just realized I haven't been showing this screen the whole time. There we go. Yeah, so this was the that's what it looks like. But anyway.
I don't see it. I'm looking at my character sheet.
Yeah, I was showing the viewers. Great. So that's a pretty good description. Do you want to hit your acrobatics check button?
Sure. All right. So the description is Feeny is going to leap from one block of sturdy ice to another. And with each one, she like just takes her little tippy toe and just kind of like leaps forward and lands very, very softly on her feet, you know?
Yeah, I love it. So roll that or press that button. Do you know how to do that?
I did.
Oh, okay. There it goes. Whoa, a 20. What a good roll.
Yeah.
Oh, and do also remember you have one. You can use it at anytime you want. An inspiration, which it'll let you use the second one.
Okay.
But this time you didn't need it because the left one was definitely better. So let me mark this. So let's see, where should I put this? How about here? Sure. What's a good positive symbol? I guess a plus. That makes sense. I answered my own question. All right, so you see that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. This column is all the successes you made, and this one's all the failures you made. So you need 5 in this one, you got 1. So perfect. So yeah, you exactly how you described kind of do the acrobatics of going through these weird like ice blocks across this lake, and Shanjan and Snook kind of follow your lead, maybe inspired by you. And you're past this lake. So this is when you start climbing the mountain. So it's not like at this point at least, you don't have to use ropes or anything, but what's like a minor difficulty that you have to deal with while you're kind of walking up this very steep kind of a icy mountainous area?
Maybe the steps are really tall.
Mm-hmm.
So like it takes me like a little extra effort to like lift my legs up and, like do that without like struggling.
Yeah. Oh, and these are the Sword Mountains too, I believe. This is the Sword Mountain range. So this is what like the Sword Coast is named after, this particular mountain range. So yeah, it makes sense that someone maybe in ancient times had carved little steps into this area, so it's a little easier than climbing, an actual mountain, but it's still not really made for halflings. So it's a little bit harder for Seraphina in particular.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love that. And maybe it's been like a day or so at this point. Maybe you find a little flat area, Oh, did you bring a tent? Is that one of the supplies you want to use?
Yes.
That makes sense. So you got 4 more supplies. So yeah, you have a little warm tent. The 3 of you kind of camp out. It's maybe a right now a very calm night. Thankfully, you wake up and keep going. And there's let's see, maybe like an area where it's kind of flatter. Maybe like you're on a plateau kind of situation. Um, so there's a little bit of you're not climbing, thankfully, or going up a steep area for an hour or two, which is Shanjan maybe says like, "Oh, my feet! Thank goodness, I was not prepared for this. I hate climbing."
Mm.
And you kind of go, and then yeah, let's see, what would be interesting. Who would do it? Maybe maybe Snook. He just says like, "Snook, Snook," just like whispering, but very, I don't know. What am I trying to think? What word am I thinking of? Oh, alarmed. Yeah, he's very alarmed and just kind of puts his hands up to both of you and just like points two little talons at the same area.
Hmm.
And you see like maybe it's starting to snow. That could be interesting. So that's why you didn't immediately see it. But I don't know. Not like way too close ahead of you. Um, you see there's hmm, this maybe like a red patch in the snow, and then as um, maybe like a couple seconds go by, and then this like little lump in the snow kind of moves and stands up, or not stands up, but you know gets out of the snow, and you realize it's a creature. And I'm going to describe it first, and then show you a picture. So it looks like a huge, like a very big animal, like a. I mean, it's a bear size. At first, probably you think, oh, that's a bear. This is like a somehow like giant bear in the side of this mountain, which wouldn't be super crazy. But when it kind of lazily looks up because it just woke up, or lazily looks around because it just woke up, and
Hmm.
then when its face kind of looks at you, it kind of tilts its head, and it's got like a bird head, like in fact like an owl. And it's got like this terrifying like beak coming down, and you see that where its bare paws would be, like bare paws are already kind of scary with those like claws and everything, but these have like curved claws, like a bird of prey.
Hmm.
Look kind of like this.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it's maybe like feathers, and even oh yeah, on here it has some feathers coming out off of its limbs and things. But it kind of looks like you, or it looks at you, and part growls, part like squawks maybe. And yeah, oh maybe yeah, maybe Shane Jan will be the one who knows this. He's like, "Oh, Feeny, that's an owl bear. They are very grumpy, very dangerous. It's definitely seen us. I really hope that doesn't have kids here or anything. What do we do? How are we gonna get out of this one?"
And then I think Feeny is just like, I think if we just, I heard that when it comes to owl bears, as long as you move very slowly, uh, they and very quietly, they will get confused and leave you alone because they stop tracking your movement. So I think we just need to be all three of us be very quiet and move very slow around it.
And he's like, "Wow, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but you know what? Sure, let's try it." So let's see. What skill would that be? Stealth, I guess?
I'm trying to bring my thing up. Damn it. Yeah, I feel like it's probably stealth. I'm just
Yeah, that
there
makes
we
sense
go.
to me. Oh, you're very good at stealth too. You have a +6 there. So this should be hard to fail.
Okay.
Although, yeah.
Did you just set me up to fail?
Oh no, you didn't roll very well, did you?
No.
1 second. Remember how hard this was. You okay?
Yeah. I thought you were doing something.
Okay, so that's not going to make it. Do you want to try to use your inspiration, which will mean...
Yeah, I was curious how, if I use my inspiration, how well do I do? How much better do I do?
Well, that means you take the highest out of those two instead of the left one, so you would do a 19 instead of a 13.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you if that'll still make it, but you only get to use it once. Do you want to use it now or save it?
So I could fail now, basically.
Well, remember, you just have to get 5 successes without getting 3 failures. So as long as it's not your third failure, it's not the end of the world.
I guess let's take the right number. Use my bardic inspiration.
Yeah. Oh, it's not even 5 total. You just have to get through these 5 obstacles. I should make that more clear. Cool. So yeah, how do you sneak by?
So, of course, Shanjan's like, I don't know if I believe you. And Feeny says, no, it's true. I heard it on a traveling podcast. That's right. It was, I guess, what some people might call a speaker, but
what is that too? I also don't know what that means.
They came to town. They came to town to teach locals about how to protect themselves from wildlife, and everybody laughed when I said, "Teach us about the owl bear."
Oh, a pod spellcaster. I remember when he came by and spoke to us.
Yes, exactly.
Now I remember.
And so what we need to do is we all need to get very low to the ground, blend in with the snow, and then move very slowly past the owl bear. It will believe that we're just a part of, after a while, its eyes will glaze over and it will believe that we're just a part of the snow.
Yeah. I can't imagine the podcaster speaker would lie to us. Let's do it.
Okay, so then she gets down on her belly and she gets like all in the snow and just starts slowly creeping along and around the owl bear.
Yeah, I love it. And
then I think the owl bear just kind of like looks around and it's like, huh? It's very confused.
Who?
Because they just blend in with the snow.
Yeah, I love that. And then it just goes back to sleep. Snow starts falling back on it. But yeah, I think at this point now, though, this is when it's like mountain time, right? Like there's a place where there's no path now, and you're going to have to get your whatever supplies you have out and actually climb this mountain is the next obstacle you have to do. So how do you go about doing that? Do you use the supplies, or is there something else you can think of to do?
No, I think at this point she's going to take out her pack and they're going to start like putting the ropes around their waist and putting the spikes on their shoes and pulling the gloves over their fingies.
Take the mittens off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think Snook, at least to his benefit, just uses his like little cobalt talons to climb up relatively easy, but still like not super easy, but at least he doesn't have to use up your supplies.
Right. Just me and Shanjan.
Yeah. I mean, if we're picking skills, that sounds like you've set up an athletics skill check.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. for moving upwards on the mountain.
Yeah, it's almost like textbook athletics check.
Okay, ready?
Oh, you're great at athletics. I assumed you'd be bad, but I forgot you're a soldier too. So
All right, ready?
yeah. Oh, incredible, man! You're gonna beat this too easily. So yeah, what happens now? I mean, you got a 26, so you easily climb this mountain. Like, what does that look like?
I think that she gets all of her mountain gear on and she starts moving and like climbing the rocks really quickly, almost like she's gliding up like a little, sugar glider.
Right?
And she's seeing Snook just kind of like squirm up along the wall next to her. And she looks over and just kind of like nods at him. And she keeps point like looking down to point to other rocks for Shanjan, and like maybe she kind of yells down, but not yells, but just kind of like loudly says to Shanjan, "Hey, remember this? When we used to have to climb the wall in boot camp? Remember how I used to kick your butt every time?"
It's
Oh.
like I remember once or twice.
And then she looks over at Snook and says, "Strong hearts have always been strong climbers."
And Snook says, "Snook."
And then she just kind of like keeps gliding up until she gets to like a landing, I guess.
Yeah, and I feel like the actual story of that is you probably beat him. You probably beat Shanjan every single time. He's like, it was probably once or twice, and you definitely beat him this time too.
Definitely.
I'm sure you have to help him a little bit as he gets over this ledge, And then I think it's getting close to night again. That's probably like a full day. So maybe you try to find a place with that you can set the tent up again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it starts snowing like harder now as you're kind of getting further into the mountains, and the wind picks up. And this is almost like maybe as you kind of all settle into this your tent here, it's almost like full blizzard situation going on here. Like you have to like kind of spread out so that the tent doesn't kind of like blow away at this point. Like you're all triangulating with your weight. And I mean, Serafina and Snook's weight not overly significant either. So Change is doing most of the I don't know, paperweight work here. But and it's also nighttime too, so it's even colder than usual. So how do you think you make it through the night?
Let's see. I guess I can use a survival skill, maybe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a survival. That makes sense to me.
And maybe she's like, "All right, everybody, get in this tent, and Snook, you get in the middle because you're the smallest, and the three
Snook
the
kind of
three of
don.
us will all huddle together, and if we all sit together like, and they're sitting like crisscross style,
Uh-huh.
and then she says, and we all link arms and put our heads towards the middle, we can all gather heat from each other's heads, and get a few hours of sleep before we have to start again.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Why don't you give us a roll? See how well you do. Seems like a good strategy. Oh, that's like just under where you need to be. Um, yeah, so I think this is going to be a failure because we don't have any inspiration left. But it's okay. Again, not the end of the world. Only when you get 3 is it a problem. So I think this is a really rough night. It turns out Snook is cold blooded, so he doesn't provide much warmth anyway. Although he's shockingly like not very affected by the cold. But so it's just you and Shanjian kind of depending on each other, and it um, probably like you don't sleep very much. It's pretty rough. But as that's going on, I'm gonna take us somewhere else so that the camera maybe goes up into this blizzard and goes somewhere else, and it's at the foot of this kind of a like a castle sort of thing. It's actually like a gatehouse, like part of a castle, like where a drawbridge and stuff would be. Although this doesn't actually have a drawbridge, but it's oh, I should have put them here. But the Barlow and Runa with the 2 children, Pip and also Nilsa. So they're kind of arriving in their horses, the 2 of them. And there's all these kobolds that are pure white scales and everything. They're just kind of scratching at this door that the 4 human people are approaching. And Barlow's like, "Oh gods, look at these vermin that came here while we were out." He's like, "You want to take care of that, Runa?" And she kind of unsheaths her sword, kind of determinedly walks over to these kobolds, who turn around and they kind of hiss, have their teeth out and their claws, and we're Pip and Nilsa are kind of like tied up with like a rope or something, like their hands are, and they're kind of just slung over these, or not slung over. I guess they're probably in the saddles, but tied to the saddles maybe or something like that. And I want to say, let's see, who is your favorite if you could pick, Seraphine? If you had to pick, who is your favorite between Pip and Nilsa?
I don't really remember anything like outstanding about Nilsa, other than she's like the big sister that likes to be like the warrior type.
Yeah, they're both like we're the best warriors, and they kind of, verbally fight each other. There's lots of rivalry between them, although they're supposedly best friends.
Right. I don't remember which one I've ever had more interactions with. So maybe Nilsa, I guess.
Okay. And I guess in that case, Pip will be the one that says, "Hey, what are you doing? Those are Snook's brothers and sisters. They're not vermin." And Barlow is with the kids, like next to the horse, and he's like, "All right, well, those aren't quite vermin. Those are, I guess, kobolds. They're always attracted to these dragons around here. We've had to put a few of them down that keep searching out for our horde, if you catch my drift. So, yeah, Runa's going to take care of them like she took care of the rest." And we just see her take this huge bastard sword that she has, like I said, it was like 6 feet long or so, and just does battle with these kobolds, these, what I say, 4 or 5 of them. And it's like a brutal fight. She like stomps one. She, cuts one in half with this awful sword, she throws one up against a wall, and like, it's just like brutal, like an awful, like gory fight. maybe one tries to run away past Barlow and the children, and Barlow kind of grabs it by the scruff of the neck and just like slams it, or no, he throws it off the ledge, and he's like, I said kobolds, but now they're kind of just like a mess on my boot. Get it? And he kind of just elbows Nilsa, and she's like, and her and Pip kind of just look horrified. It's like, anyway, welcome to home sweet home. He kind of looks at the door, and they open it up and go in here. And then this camera goes back through the blizzard back to this tent as day breaks, I guess. And you, Seraphina and Shanjan and Snook probably as well, just had like the worst night ever. Like you barely got any sleep. It took all your energy just to keep this tent from, blowing off the mountain. But you made it. It's warming up a little. The winds are dying down somewhat. And now you continue on your journey.
I have a question really quick.
Go for it.
Didn't I get 3 points on the positive side?
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? Because you got acrobatics, stealth, and athletics. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Thanks for bringing that up. You're actually pretty close. There you go.
All right, so what am I doing now?
So yeah, I think you travel a little bit. It's a little flatter, but still like rough, and it's still like snowing. The wind's blowing hard, not as hard as that night, but still pretty rough. And then I think you take a step and it just like stops. It's very strange, and everything's kind of quiet and still, like eerily so. And you go a little bit further, and you come across this. Looks like a fountain made of ice, like a little fountain. I don't know. Would be, I mean, like a kitchen sink kind of size thing, that's just kind of standing in the middle of nowhere, and it's shooting up little. It's like crystal clear bluish water coming out of this thing made of ice, and it's collecting in like a little pool, and then going who knows where. But yeah, it's just this beautiful little spring, I guess, but it's definitely a structure made of ice. It's like obviously magical, or something's going on. And then maybe Shanjan walks over to it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so thirsty." And as he takes a step forward, this little creature kind of appears out of nowhere, maybe out of the snow. It looks like it's made maybe of ice too. It's let's see, how do I describe this for people who can't see it? It's like a little winged, emaciated, almost like, it looks like a little devil creature, like an imp, maybe. It's got a huge nose that looks almost like an icicle. Almost like a goblinoid type head, perhaps, but it's very spindly limbs, and they end in little sharp little claws, and it kind of flaps its little like tiny wings that should not be able to support it at all. And maybe it fly. It's shorter than Seraphina. Maybe it's like a foot. If it stood up to its full height, it would be maybe a foot tall. It kind of flaps around. Maybe it lands on Shanjan's shoulder for a second and kind of, snakes its body around so it looks face to face with Shanjan and says, "Oh, are you thirsty, traveler? Well, I have the best water in all Faerun. Here, for the taking." And it flaps away and kind of perches on the fountain. It's like, a drink, 2 drinks, 5 drinks if you're really thirsty, could all be yours for one simple price. You must entertain me. Entertain me and you can drink as much as you want. Up to 5, as said. Well, what will it be? Would you like a drink or no?
So I think Feeny maybe gets and kind of pushes Shanjan like almost behind her and stands up to this thing and says, "Sir, are you simply offering us water for your entertainment? Do you not require something else? What's the point of the water? Do we need the water?"
Simple water. Simple water. I say the best water in all of Faerun. Didn't you hear me? The best water. It will quench you as nothing else has quenched anyone who's ever drank anything else. This is your only opportunity to have the best water you can ever imagine. The purest, the coldest, the most nourishing. If you don't want it, you can simply move on. I'm sure I won't be offended. But if you entertain me, it could be yours.
Well, I do happen to be a bard, so I can perform and entertain you. I am very sure of that. Shanjan,
Many have said the same.
Do you want this special water, Shanjan? Should we just go around it?
And Shanjan's, he's kind of rubbing his shoulder where that creature perched on it. He's like, I don't know. Cold water seems like not the best thing to happen now. I mean, I'm kind of cold already. And this creature's like, well, normally it's not this cold here, but no, if you want warm water, then you only need to ask. And he kind of snaps his talons, I guess. And this water starts bubbling and steaming.
Well. Thank you, sir. Thank you. May we move past you without drinking any of your water?
And it kind of makes as much as its strange face can do. Like it looks kind of sad and just puts its talons over its heart, where its heart would be, I guess, and just like, you would not want to sample the best water in all of Faerun? The best. I don't think I've stressed this enough. The very best water that anyone can drink. You can take some with you if you need to. And you say you're an expert entertainer.
Well, that is true. I guess I can take this water with me, although I might not drink it now.
But only 5. No more.
5 sips.
5, yes.
Well, I guess I will perform for you. And then we may thank you for the 5 sips and move on.
And just kind of, does the steeples its fingers, like, great. I look forward to it. And maybe it flies away off to a little ledge and crosses its arms and just like, yes, entertain when ready.
So then I think she would pull out her magical ukulele. Sir, what is your name?
Oh, I have many names. So many. So hard to tell. The water keeper, the keeper of water, the thirst quencher.
Oh, okay. Well, sir, my name is Seraphina Tealeaf. People call me Teeny Feeny. And this is a song for you. The water quencher, he likes to give water. He goes bubble, 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 glubble, 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 bubble, 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 bubble. That's how you drink water. The water quencher, the water keeper, He sounds like this when he goes, wubba, 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 wubba. That's how I drink my wah-wah.
Well, you definitely entertained me, but let's, I guess, make a performance check to see if you entertain this creature.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like you're setting up performance, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, wow, that was very close. You did, in fact, entertain him. Or it, I should say.
Wubba, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Wow, you're doing great. You're kind of killing this skill challenge. That's your 4th out of 5. And it kind of, oh, yeah, what do you think its reaction would be? I'll give it to you since you got it so well.
I think the water keeper would be like, well, I mean, I've seen worse, but I will say no one's ever written me a theme song. So, yeah, I guess you entertained me. You may have 5 sips of water, but you must go blah, 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 blah while you drink it. Oh, well, of course, I wouldn't think of anything else, Mr. Waterkeeper man, sir. I appreciate the sips of water. Hopefully they will nourish us on the rest of our trip. I guess, would you like a sip, Chan Jan? And maybe she gives each of them a sip of water.
Yeah. And I think when you take your sip, you have a just feeling wash over you. And it's very familiar. It takes a minute to place it, like a second or two, you know? It's like, oh, this is something that's like very familiar, but what is that again? It's like, oh, this is exactly how I feel when I drink a healing potion. Yeah, each of you 3 take a little drink of this. And he's like, or this creature is like, oh, very, very nice. The water keeper, I love it. You didn't do the glub glub as much as I would have preferred, but no, very good. Do you want your other 2 to take with you? To goes?
Yes, please. I always like these to go. Thank you. Mr. Waterkeeper, one day I hope that I can sing you an even more beautiful song than that. Thank you for your time.
Oh, of course. And he just kind of hands out their 2 little like frozen, they're like ice cube bottles basically, but there's water in them. It's like, that'll keep them fresh.
Well, thank you. We're so grateful to have run into you. Now we must continue on our journey.
Yes, it's so much better when they entertain me and I don't have to eat their hearts. Well, goodbye. And I think just before your eyes, like the entire fountain melts away. And he kind of melts away too, just into the snow, as if he was never there. But yeah, so I think he travels maybe some further up into this mountain. Let's see. I guess this could be the last roll you make. Pretty good. Yeah. Okay. So I think the one you get to is. Did I get a picture for this? I don't think I did. Nah. This should be easy enough to figure out. So you get to a place where it's like more or less the peak of this mountain that you're on. And you look over and you realize, like, it's the end of the path, you know? And you realize that there's this long kind of like there's 3 ropes, if you can imagine, like 2 that are next to each other and another rope that are, you know, parallel to each other at the top, and then one that's under it, like making a little kind of upside down triangle. And these 3 ropes go a good distance. It's like 50, 100 feet to a completely different mountain that's even higher. It's like, oh, this is like a rope bridge kind of thing. But I guess the idea is you're going to tight rope, and then your 2 arms are going to be at the two top corners of this triangle situation. So not super safe or not scary at all. But one thing that's happening is that the wind is blowing pretty hard and it's been snowing. And you see, as you get to this rope, it's just like a regular hempen rope kind of thing. And it's looks like it's frozen over. And there's all these like tiny little icicles falling off, like not falling, but uh, dripping down from these three ropes. So it's going to be like slippery and like even more treacherous than usual. And it's a long way. And when you look over to see kind of the valley between these two mountains that you're crossing, it's like, oh, it's snowy, so it's going to be hard no matter what. But it's like you can't see the bottom.
Hmm.
So how are you getting through this one?
Up this rope wall? Up this frozen rope wall?
Yeah, it's like a rope bridge between two mountains,
Hmm.
and it's frozen over, slippery. So imagine like tightrope walking on like a frozen tightrope in the middle of a snowstorm.
Hmm. I don't know. Kind of already used the majority of things that I could use.
Yeah, you've used a lot of your good ones.
What if I did um investigation? No.
Yeah. How do you think that would help?
Maybe if she looks around somewhere in this mountain, maybe there's like a secret hidden passageway or something so that she doesn't have to go like climbing on this frozen rope wall.
Well, yeah, the problem with that is, like I was saying, this is like the end of the path for this mountain, and it's the only way you can continue along this trail, I guess, that Snook's taking you is to change mountains. But I mean, you could use investigation to inspect the rope or do something like that.
Then if that's the case, I think I'd rather use perception.
Okay. To kind of, yeah, like what? Just be on like high alert as you're going across.
Maybe be more like more perceptive as to like where the rope is super frozen and she will fall off, and like being aware of which like path to go, on all the ropes.
Yeah, okay, I can buy that. Just you're taking it. Oops. It's our background noise. Yeah.
Yeah, the power went out again for the second time.
That's so weird. Um okay. So yeah, I can buy that.
Yeah, so can I go with that?
Yeah. Wow. You're like the luckiest roller. This is great. I was hoping for more failures, but man, you nailed it.
Well, I was worried that if I used investigation I was gonna fail.
Oh, yeah, you would have failed because it would have been 4 or fewer. Um, yeah, I love that. Okay, so here's how we'll do this. I think because you're going as kind of as slow as possible, and Shanjian and Snook are following behind you, and because you're using perception for this, like making sure that every step you take isn't too slippery, or too frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as you get about halfway through this, like it's like 100 feet long rope bridge thing. Um, you notice this like dark shadow underneath you, like way down below. Like I said, it was like a snowstorm, and it's like misty, foggy kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this movement under you, and you look down, and it's like something flying under you.
Mm-hmm.
In the mist, you can just barely make out the shadow, and then maybe the three of you share a look. It's like, oh no, we need to hurry. So you kind of hustle a little more, and you
Mm-hmm.
see definitely some big creature flying out of this misty cloud underneath you, and maybe going into the clouds above. It's like circling around, kind of like doing something, like definitely noticing you. It looks like it's almost like it's like messing with you. It's like just out of your vision, so you can't tell what it is. It's being very, I guess, horrifying, like stalking you almost. And you make it to the other side, and just as you get there, this thing, like you're finally safe on solid ground in this other mountain, and this thing, you hear it like flapping like these horrifying wings, and it kind of descends from above you, um, and almost like right on top of you. It's this huge creature. Like, what do you do? Are you on guard? Like, what's happening? What's going through Seraphina's mind?
I think Seraphina is just immediately like having flashbacks, to the war, and I think her instincts are to run towards or like get towards the nearest like wall so that she can sort of like hug the wall and then pull out like her sword to just kind of like ready her stance.
Yeah, this is your dragon slaying rapier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think Shanjian just takes note of that, and just does the same thing. Just backs you up, has his bird calling staff there, is ready to cast Sacred Flame if he needs to. And Snook, not very trained as much as you two, but does have that pointy stick. He's like, Snook, ready to help you out if need be. And this creature kind of, you hear it just crunch on the snow, and just kind of steps out of the snowy mist. And it looks like this. And it says, Land Mama?
Oh, wing baby.
Land Mama. And it kind of goes over to you and like nuzzles you very dangerously with these like porcupine spikes coming out of its face.
And then she instantly just like throws both of her arms around his face and, like kind of strokes the spikes and says, "Aw, little wing baby. Aw, I'm so happy to see you."
And anyone who's forgotten, this is the Manticore child from before. And yes, it just kind of like makes that purr, like just like terrifying purr noise, like it's way too loud. And it smiles with all these like terrifying teeth. I think we said its face is a little too human. It looks like a mask. This picture I have is like perfectly terrifying, but it's missing the wings. So just imagine it with some wings here. Who says, "Oh, mom, land mama, wing baby has been so good. I have only eaten goats and things, as you said."
Oh, I'm so proud of you, Wing Baby. You are doing the world a good service. You are being a good Wing Baby. Thank you so much for not continuing to eat humans. I
Yes,
can't
human.
wait to celebrate with you.
Oh, humans so delicious, but goats, I'm getting used to them. Land mama.
Well, I'll tell you what, little Wing Baby. When all of this is over, I'll teach you how to help people instead of want to eat them.
Oh,
And
I can.
then
There's room for both.
and then, I think she's just sort of shrugs and is like, well, little manticore is going to be a little manticore. And then kind of like strokes a little nose and kind of pets him and says, what are you doing out here? It's far too cold and dangerous for you to be out here.
And they kind of looks up, and yeah, this is the time to reveal the rest of this picture. Perhaps there we go. Because imagine Serafina down here.
Where's the rest of this picture?
So Serafina down here, and now as you look up, kind of at the other, as you're at this other mountain, you see that there is kind of pretty close, but still in the distance. There's like a castle that's topping one of these mountains over here,
Hmm.
and Wing Baby kind of, uh, you know, nods up to that and kind of whispers, even though it's a huge creature. It's like a oh, I guess about as big as a horse or something. I think it's size large if I remember. So a little bit bigger than a horse, I guess. Uh, Says, "Oh well, I've been I've been watching the thing that took Air Mama long ago. You you said we should help people just now, and I should help you, Land Mama. That's where the dragon lives. It's gone now, but it's only going to eat, and when it comes back, it stays there."
Oh, little Wing Baby. And then she, like, pets his head again and she says, I'm so sorry about your mama, but you did a good thing by telling me where this dragon is or this creature is. Stay far away from it. I don't want anything happening to you.
But Land Mama, you're so small, so tiny. You should not be here either. If you, well, I don't like too much, but you are very light. If you crawl onto my shoulders, I can fly you back down.
Hmm. Could you perhaps fly the three of us?
And Wing Baby looks at Snook and just like nods, like and then looks at Shanjan, maybe like at Shanjan's knees first, then up. It's like oh I'm not sure. Maybe one at a time, and him last. But
Hmm.
I can fly you back down to where that forest is, or where the flat ground is, or oh, that windmill is down there.
Oh, no, Wing Baby. We don't want to go away from the castle. We want to go towards it.
And he kind of just gasps. It's like, no, Mama, I told you, it's very dangerous. That's where the dragon lives.
I know. But my dear little baby, if we don't stop this dragon, it's going to continue to hurt people like your mother. And not just me, your air mother. Don't you want other little babies to have their mommies and daddies? I have to do this to save other people. We must go towards the castle.
Ooh, all right. Do you want to try to persuade this little wing baby?
Sure. Hmm. All right. So she's going to try to persuade him.
Yeah, I think you made a pretty good case. Man, you're on fire. This you should have saved these good rolls for when you're actually fighting the dragon, but this is pretty good.
Oh, well, I can't help it.
um, yeah, I think the wing baby considers for a minute and she's like, yes, hmm, oh yes, I don't want anyone to lose a mama. Yes, no, I can fly you there. It's it's dangerous, but like I did say the dragon. He's gone now. He's eating, I think. But that was days ago. He's gonna come back soon. You have to be very careful, Mama.
Little baby, the fact that you're here after so long just tells me that Timora is looking after us. And then she looks at Shan Shan and she nods and, holds her hand out to Snook for Snook to lick it and says, we unfortunately have lost some of our close friends during this adventure, but we've managed to gain some. And we can handle this together. If you can get us there, Shan Jan and I are experienced, and unfortunately, this is not our first interaction with a dragon of Icespire Peak.
Oh no. Well, and just kind of leans down. It's like, well, grab a hold, Mama. Watch for my spikes. They're all poisonous.
Oh, that's true. I sure do know you, wing baby. That's why I am going to use my special metal gloves to hold you.
Yeah, no, and it's not a big problem to not get stuck by these if you're not fighting it for sure. So yeah, you could. Do you go first?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So wing baby you kind of fly up to the foot of this or it's like a kind of winding path that leads to it, but it's not very far. It's definitely not a climb at least anymore. He drops you off there. He goes pick up Snook, and then maybe struggles a little, like the two of you kind of watching Wing Baby fly Shanjan up. It's like, oh no, oh no, oh okay, but he's able to kind of fly up to bring all three of you there together. And Wing Baby's it's like, well, Mama, please be careful. The dragon, as I said, lives here and will sometimes sleep atop the roof. But they've been very loud here recently. I think there's some people here that, well, they're up to no good. And in fact, well, yeah, doesn't matter. Um, there's up this winding path is where the castle is, and it's like, would you need anything else, Mama?
No, little wing baby, I want you to stay safe no matter what. Stay far away from this dragon and far away from this castle. If anything happens to me, you need to know that I still love you and will always love you. But you have to stay away and let us take care of this.
Okay, I will, Mama. And then with its like not quite human, but uncanny valley terrifying, like human-ish face, just like kisses you on the cheek and like flies away.
Hmm.
And then I think I don't have a sweet picture for this, but just there's this little winding road that leads to this castle. There's two like castle structures on the top of this little mountain thing over here, and that's where theoretically the dragon is. I think, oh, maybe to just make it dramatic. I mean, let's just take you to the map. Why not? So you see this map now? Oops, let me
Yeah.
zoom. So um, you've got a little ways, a little walking path to go, and then there's one structure here, like a little castle, and then like a bigger castle here. And maybe as you're starting to go across this little, you know, treacherous, narrow path, um, another creature kind of flies out of the mist, and I think Snook maybe like grabs your like a what would he grab, like your sleeve or something, you know, and Shanjan, oh maybe both of you, just grabs both you and Shanjan's sleeve and pulls you down, so everyone's kind of like crouched down at this point, and you see the dragon of Icespire Peak kind of fly over and land on this roof. Do I have a picture of this creature? Yeah, it just lands there, curls up, and I think that's where we end.
Hmm.
Do you have a sweet song for us?
Let's see. We're walking into the dragon's castle. It is so cold and we are so afraid. What will we find there when we meet the dragon? Maybe the wing baby's mother, maybe our poor friend in Perna. We're gonna meet the dragon and fight it hard. We have been working all night long. Need to find our friend till the end. Inverna, are you there? We'll meet the dragon. We'll slay the dragon. We'll save Vandalin. Stay tuned.
Yeah, amazing. All right, well, that's it. Any parting words?
No, I can't believe we're finally here.
See you next time.